have your attention? Awesome, guys. Thank you for being here. Basically today what I'm gonna do is like a little workshop at introduction of specialty coffee. Can you hear me? Okay, good. So basically, I'm gonna explain a little bit of like what's the difference between commercial coffee and specialty coffee. I'm Lorena Segura. I've been working in the industry of coffee industry for like the past 6 years, but I'm originally from Colombia. And as a proud Colombia, I was very proud of Colombian coffee when I was in Colombia, but I didn't understand why Colombian coffee was so popular until I moved to Melbourne. And then I understood that all the good coffee is exported, and the coffee that we drink in Colombia is commercial. But then we really don't have the chance, or in the past, to try all the Colombian coffee and why is that special. So I'm gonna base this workshop trying to explain why coffee can be special. So, if any of you know what is specialty coffee? Okay. Awesome. Do you want to try to explain?
Yes, all the coffee beans throughout the world you ever see in a hopper, they're all scored out at 100 points. And with specialty coffee, it has to be 80 plus.
Yeah, so basically that is a way we put quality into coffee. We try the coffees and we give a score from 1 to 100, and everything that is over 80 is considered specialty coffee. But that comes from like, basically coffee is a commodity and it's traded as a commodity, so it has a fixed price. It's called the C price. And it's basically, it fluctuates depending on the demand. So like if Brazil one year produce a lot of coffee, so that price goes down, which means like sometimes coffee producers have to sell the coffee from under what it costs them to produce the coffee. So like, let's say this year we pay for the coffee $2, but then next year we will pay for the coffee $1.20. And it means for the producer, it costs $1.50 to produce the coffee. It means they working and not making money. It's like they're actually creating a debt. So a lot of coffee producers stop producing coffee and move into other crops that were more profitable. So then that's when specialty coffee appears, and it's a way to pay for quality. So basically in the past, all the coffee, doesn't matter if it was like more tasty or better, it has to sell at the same price. And then specialty coffee, what they want to do is like pay the coffee producers above that price, depending on the quality that they produce. It means the coffee producers can invest more money and resources into producing coffee, but they get paid of what they produce, the quality that they produce. So then we can, instead of just paying $2 for the same coffee, we can find coffees that win like $100 a kilogram because they are absolutely amazing. The problem with specialty coffee is that it's like a very small market, so there is not much people consuming specialty coffee right now. In Australia, we're very lucky, and like most of the coffee that I think we consume is specialty coffee. But I think it will be good to have more of these spaces where people understand why we need to pay sometimes more for coffee, because it may not be available as it is right now if we don't start like consuming these delicious coffees. So that was just the introduction. If you guys want to come close and just walk around, I have different coffee beans. So basically, no, 1 second. So do you guys know what coffee comes from? Like, how do you find it? No? So basically coffee is a cherry, and what we consume is the seed. So like, we grab the cherries from the plant, and then we take out of the seed, and then we dry it, and then we roast it, and the roasted coffee is what we consume. But there is like different multiple types of coffee cherries. So like, for example, if you go and you want to buy coffee in a supermarket and you don't know what to buy, there is different questions that you can ask yourself. And it's, for example, do I consume coffee as a filter coffee? Do I consume coffee as milk, as an espresso? And then in the coffee bag, most of the coffee bags here in Australia will give you that information. So like, coffee can be roasted dark, can be roasted medium, and can be roasted light. But also they can tell you, this coffee is good to drink as filtered coffee, this coffee is good to drink as milk coffee, and this coffee is good to drink as an espresso. and then that's the basic things. But you can go a little before that and then finding which countries you like. So I like coffee from Colombia, I like coffee from Ethiopia, I like coffee from Rwanda, from Brazil, because they have a specific unique flavors. But you can go a little before that, like in wine, and find like Shiraz, Cabernet Sauvignon, Pinot Noir. In coffee, there is different varieties of coffee as well. And we can find like pink bourbons from Colombia, geishas from Panama, heirlooms from Ethiopia, and all of these different coffee cherries and varieties, it will give you different profiles. So sometimes, like for example, the pink bourbon will give you more like fruity flavors, more acidity. Heirlooms for Ethiopia are a little bit more violet and florals. And then coffees from Brazil, they can be a little bit more like chocolate, caramel, nutty. So the idea is for you to go out there and try all of these different coffees and find what you like. So coming from that, I bought some green beans. So it means like before they are roasted. So if you guys want to come around and check just like different how coffees can look different, like just from the origin and the processing. So just come around, let me check. So you can tell here, these coffees are processed in a different way than these coffees. And that's why they look different. So the coffee cherry in these washed coffees are basically like washed with water. So like the coffee cherry, the fruit is not in contact for a very long time. And they are a little bit more crispy, nicer acidity. This is a honey process. That means they take only the skin, but they leave the fruit and they dry it. So it takes a little bit longer, but not as long as the natural coffees. That it means like the cherry is lying down in beds and dry for like 2 or 3 weeks in contact with the fruit, and that's why we find these colors. So you can see, like, for example, this coffee is from Ethiopia and it's a natural coffee, and this coffee is from Ethiopia as well, and it's a washed coffee. So just change of the way they process the coffee. And you can also see that there is different, like these beans are a little bit like longer and big. These coffees from Ethiopia are a little bit smaller. That doesn't mean the coffee will taste better. It will just mean it tastes different. Cool. Also, this is the coffee before. So the coffee this is when you dry it, like as a natural, and then take it out. And then if you take it out like this is what we actually consume inside. So you have to pick the coffee, then you have to dry it, and then you have to mill it, and then you have to send it to another country, and in that country they have to roast it, and then the barista needs to do it well so you can enjoy the coffee. So many steps for you to have a good coffee, and it can go running anywhere. But yeah, I just want to show you that there's different varieties, but also there's a lot of work for us to consume that coffee. If you guys give me just 1 second, I have some coffees that are already ground and roasted. Have anyone here cup coffee before? Yeah. Do you wanna explain what is coffee? Do you wanna explain maybe what is coffee?
He's better.
No. That's okay. Cupping is a way we assess the quality of the coffee. And we do it in the same standards. So people that is producing the coffee in Colombia, they use the same protocol to assess the quality of the coffee, to give the score from like 1 to 100 that we were talking. And that's what we're gonna do here. It's basically we put ground coffee in some bowls, we put some hot water, wait for a little bit, and then with the spoon, we grab a little bit of coffee and we slurp. And I will show you guys when it's everything set up. So yeah, just give me 5 minutes, I'm gonna bring the coffees and then we can start the cupping.